Episode 7 of My Brilliant Friend begins with Elena at home alone when Antonio arrives. He reveals all of Nino's affairs while he was with Elena and confesses that Lila had told him not to say anything, knowing Elena would forgive Nino out of love. Antonio also admits that he had kept from Lila the fact that Nino had wanted to come back to her all those years ago, because he knew Nino would have ruined Lila's life. Later, Elena uses Antonio to feel better about her situation by having sex with him. Months later, Lila calls Elena to tell her about an affordable apartment below hers, suggesting they could live closer together, but Elena is unsure. Meanwhile, her publisher asks for her manuscript, so Elena sends an old one she had written while in Florence that no one had liked. Nino visits Elena, still claiming that Lila has been lying to her. He expects Elena to give in to him, explaining his affairs by saying, "I cannot resist." But Elena finally turns him away, realizing she feels nothing for him anymore. Elena moves back to her old neighborhood into the apartment below Lila's. She says she has found her voice again. The manuscript she submitted, she rewrote from scratch after the publisher expressed interest. The book received positive reviews from critics, was translated, and even quoted by an Italian politician on television. This marks the beginning of Elena's fame. Years pass, and Emma has grown up, with Didi now a teenager. Elena begins to question the methods Lila uses to run her business. At Elisa's wedding, Alfonso appears in a dress and makeup similar to Lila's, intended for Michelle, but Marcelo has him removed from the event. Tensions rise as Michelle screams at Lila for minding her children. Later, Alfonso turns up at the Solaris bar and is brutally beaten by Michelle. It becomes clear that Michelle's once obsessive devotion to Lila has faded, and she begins to fear him again. Things are also changing for Elena. A photographer visits her for a magazine feature, and her book goes into reprints. On her way back from a book signing, Michelle and Marcelo confront her, with Michelle shouting about how she has tarnished their name. Elena confides in Lila, feeling that her book is merely literature and not connected to real life, while Lila tells her that many realities are recognizable in her work. Lila advises Elena to ignore the Solaris. The episode ends with Emma refusing to acknowledge her father on television, feeling isolated. This episode highlights the growing cracks in Lila and Elena's somewhat peaceful lives. While Elena has finally freed herself from Nino and moved back to her old neighborhood, where she begins healing from years of lost identity, Lila's carefully constructed peace with the Solaris is falling apart. The episode beautifully portrays the neighborhood as a microcosm of Italy itself, with the years of lead looming in the background. Alfonso's fate is foreshadowed as Michelle breaks free from Lila's spell, brutally beating him in the street. This act serves as a powerful symbol of Michelle's changing feelings toward Lila and the future of their relationship. Tensions with Emma are also rising, as she feels she must compete with Tina for her mother's love, especially in the absence of a father figure.